Welcome back, brave adventurers, to another thrilling chapter of our tale. I'm your host and Dungeon Master Kyle, your guide to the mysteries of our world and the challenges that lie ahead. In our 20th session, our intrepid heroes Tatiana, Ortega, Parrish, Talus, and Ari find themselves deeper within the labyrinthian depths of the Betrayer's Rise. With each step, they inch closer to the heart of darkness, where ancient secrets and untold dangers await. But first, a recap of the previous session brought to us this time by Ortega.
We're currently resting in the stairs, and I'm still trying to process what's going on in my head. Some things I just can't control anymore, and I'm still trying to figure out why. Parrish made us some sandwiches while we were taking a breather, and these ugly little munchkins decided to peek their way on over, and I decided to share my sandwich that Parrish had made. And long story short, I picked one up, it yelled at me, and I yelled back louder. It lost its head. Everyone was kind of a little upset about it. I don't really think they understood they were quasits. They learned their lesson, though. We ended up moving on into the next room, and there was this huge statue chained, and that made me think of the last room that talked about oblivion and chains, and I went, that can't be good. Parrish must have had other ideas, because he started climbing it almost immediately. By the time I got to the next walkway, I turned around to a gunshot, and all I saw was Tati bleeding as she turned around to yell at Ari. Then Parrish jumped off the statue, and, well, I had to make it right. I went up to smack Ari as hard as I could, and by the time I got there, he'd snapped too. After politely telling Parrish that he was wrong to touch the statue in the first place, I decided to just carry on, asking Tati if she was all right. So we started walking down the next hallway that we'd seen. The rest of the group kind of lingered behind for a moment or two, and then they followed. I walked a little bit farther ahead and saw a couple orcs bathing in blood, and I just ran full speed and jumped right on in, started a fight with some orcs, only to realize that the blood was absolutely burning like a hot tub. Wasn't long before Tatiana joined me, but she seemed to have too much fun swimming. Then all of a sudden she bit me in the back of the shoulder. At least she's strong. I had to put her in a dreamy stupor after that so we could finish the fight. Talus kept looking for ways to make the blood that was rising up go down instead of killing the damn orcs. Sometimes she makes me crazy, and sometimes I think she actually gets it. Then I kind of lost consciousness for a minute after almost single-handedly taking down these orcs with a little help from Ari at the back, only to be brought back up by him, so he had my back more than once. Finally, we killed the second orc, and all the blood disappeared. Sometimes I just want to do stupid shit, and I can't explain why. I'm smarter than that. Maybe it's got to do with the sword.
As they steel themselves for the trials ahead, their bonds of friendship will be tested like never before. For within these cursed halls, every decision carries the weight of destiny, and every victory brings them one step closer to the truth. So join us as we embark on another adventure filled with danger, discovery, and the indomitable spirit of our heroes. Together, we'll brave the perils of the Betrayer's Rise and uncover the secrets that lie hidden within its ancient walls below. The pool of blood had subsided, and the drain at the bottom of the room that the pool is in trickles down in the last few remnants of blood as the stone doors in the back near where Ari and Talus are opened up, and the stone doors that are located to the back also of the room rose up again as well. You never seen these doors rise up, but upon seeing them you realize they were doors. You also do see that there's another small alcove way up at the top in a corner about 45-50 feet up, right at the top. Looks like a little grate, probably big enough to pass through. Upon now realizing, had the pool flowed up and over, that may have only been your only escape. Maybe it's an overflow of some sort, or to contain the water or the blood. What do you do?
Ortega's gonna walk over and grab Tatiana, and she's gonna give her a couple of small little slaps on the cheek, and then after he does that, he's just gonna think about it, and his Cheshire eyes disappear, and she comes back too. You all right? You fell asleep on us.
I did what now?
Well, you jumped in here to help me fight these orcs, and then you kind of fell asleep. That was after you bit me in the shoulder. Kind of annoying while I was trying to kill orcs.
I think I remember biting you. I'm sorry. Generally, I ask first.
Not that time.
Oh, God. Give me a minute. Maybe talk to other people.
And Ari walks up and says, maybe it's not actually time for talking right now. Maybe we just keep moving. I don't exactly feel like breaking down the conversations while guns keep blazing and I keep getting almost killed. Let's move. Now, door to the south or do we head back? There's also that alcove, which we all saw up there. Like, I can't reach it. Wait, can I? Do I have a mage hand?
We have someone who can reach it.
Oh.
She can walk on ceilings.
Does it cost a spell, though? Because mine's a cantrip.
Belle, I don't do magic. I
just
walk on
does.
ceiling.
I think as much as we do want to press forward, communication's not a bad thing. What's the plan? Forward or back?
May I be blunt? I really don't want to go into a room full of statues that cause people to shoot their friends.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say about that. Say I'm sorry feels like a bit of an understatement.
We've already apologized a couple of times.
So then you know what it means. The fact of the matter is this. I gave you a word and I broke it. That comes with a cost.
Ari,
One I will repay you.
no offense, but right now, I really don't give a rat's ass. My head is buzzing, and I just want to move. So, I vote forward.
I also vote forward, but
I'm gonna quickly mage hand up into the alcove.
I'm a little beaten up at the moment.
See if I can scoop anything in. So mage hand is 30 feet from me. So how close can I get if I shimmy up the wall a smidge? Is there any place on the wall to try and push myself up a bit? Or could I sit? Is Ortega still huge? Can I get in his shoulders?
You can. I'm currently slumped in the hot tub of nothing right now.
Listen, I need you to remember one of our old plays, okay? I need you to get up on your shoulders, and like I used to reach into windows, I'm going to do that again to that alcove up there. Sweeping motion back with mage hand, put me on your back and jump.
The least you could do, Ari, is say please.
Oh, I thought it was implied. Please and thank you. Also, it's a good idea. So just, help a filler out. And I scurry up him because I know how to do it. Mm-hmm. And because this is an old move for us. And I would ask that Ortega bring us forward while I stand on his shoulders. And then as he puts up his hands, I stand on his hands, cheerleader style, but he may use two hands. With his arms fully extended, I need some range.
Okay.
I probably only use one hand.
I hope so.
One hand would hold both your feet.
Yeah, no, that's
all right.
Honestly, it makes me feel slender, and I'm here for it. No, I feel.
I'll lift you up, Ari, but after that, can we at least have a quick breather before we move on? I kind of went unconscious in that fight.
Yeah, no, I know, but you're honestly strong as you've ever been. Just hold tight 1 second, please. I feel like a fine boy, and I will cast Mage Hand at my most elevated height that I possibly could be here, and I will just see if there's anything up in that alcove that I can scoop back.
Okay. So the alcove is on the catwalk on the opposite side from where you guys are. Are you guys going over right up to the wall?
I'm getting as close. I have a 30-foot range on Mage Hand. It's a bit far away, but I'm standing on a giant like a cheerleader, being awesome. And so I'm gonna Mage Hand it, and I'll make a roll if you'd like. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I just wanted to know if you guys were going to the other side of the catwalk or not.
Yeah, no, we're getting as close as we can, so I have as much range and as much ease of access to Mage Hand anything out of that alcove.
Okay. I need both. Since you guys are, I need you guys both to make checks here. Ortega, make an athletics check since you're holding him up, and Ari, make an acrobatics check.
Amazing. I'm so happy. It's not bad. It is a natural 13, which does feel admittedly unlucky. You said it's
4. I hold him up there for days.
Nice. And sorry, you said mine was in acrobatics or athletics? Sorry.
Yours is acrobatics. Yeah.
Acrobatics. So that's a plus 3. It's a 16.
Okay. And you said yours was 24?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So you are able to hold him up there, and he wiggles a little bit, but this isn't something he's not familiar with. So he's able to gain his balance, and then uses his hand to bring the mage hand up. It's not that far away from where you are now. So you're probably only within 15, 20 feet or so from the alcove.
Can I reach it if he tossed me?
If he tossed you, yeah, you could probably reach it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see if the mage hand sees anything or can't bring anything back. Let's do a little exploration while I'm up here.
Yeah. Okay. So make a investigation check, but with the mage hand's stats.
Oh, I don't know what my mage hand stats are.
I didn't know Mage Hand had stats.
Yeah. No. Let's find out. That's going to be fun.
Yeah. Mage hands can do it.
Mage hand. I've got the spell here. But I don't have stats. Could you give me any plus or minus that you'd like me to apply to the roll?
Just
I figured it was just a spellcasting modifier.
Yeah, it would just be the spellcasting modifier. Yeah, let's just do that.
Okay.
Let's just do that.
A modifier of +2. Okay, so that's a 12.
12. Okay. You do you get the mage hand and you feel like it kind of starts like, grabbing onto something. It's every now and then it's like you see like a tuft of dust, spew out a little, as it's shifting around and making a mess of things. It's able to grab onto like a stone as it kind of drags the stone back. And so you get the feeling that it's a rockier path. It's definitely not one that has been traversed. You get the feeling that this has been like dug out, kind of.
So that to me feels like an escape route that someone worked pretty hard at. I will convey everything that you've described to the entire group. I will say, I know we need to rest, but I also would not mind taking a quick look up there. Or someone else can. We can do a human ladder sort of situation. We used to do this in my old act, but I can also just maybe have Ortega toss me. By the way, have you noticed that he's still holding me? This is magnificent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's incredible, honestly. He doesn't even look like he's sweating. He's not sweating, but you look colder than before. How does this make sense?
Are you done up there yet, Ari?
No, I need to know if I'm going to go up and check on it, or if we should all rest first, or if someone else wants to go and check on it. You're fine. Don't whine.
No, why don't we do this? Who's not taking an inkling of damage? Who's okay? Or is everybody hurt to shit?
Okay, I'm not hurt.
Not hurt.
In fairness, I think slow and steady wins this race in a dungeon like this. I don't know if we want to eat in a room full of boiling blood. I don't know if we want to check wherever Ari is, but I think it is wise to take a bit of time, collect ourselves.
I won't need more than an hour.
Toss me up before the blood boils then. Give me a quick check. I'll investigate and won't move forward from that point. But give me a toss up there. I'm doing fine. That's where I'll take my downtime.
Would be good to have someone up there in case enemies were coming from that direction.
I pad the gun at my side and say, no better spot to be. So, Ortega, will you give me a toss up there, please?
Yeah, sure. Ortega tosses him just a tad too hard.
It's your sportsman-like attitude that Ari loves the most.
Yeah, you know what? For the sake of simplicity, since you had such a high athletics roll, I'm thinking it's not that far for you just to kind of make a grapple check though, just a strength check, just to make sure you can at least get in there so that you don't botch the
Rolled a 7, and that's with a strength of +3.
Okay,
so that's 10.
I was just looking for a nat 1, so you're okay.
Oh, thank God.
So as you know, you're holding up there and you're able to kind of crawl in, and you're realizing that the ceiling is much lower from this angle. It's only about a 3-foot high ceiling. Like I said, it does look like it has been dug out, at least just in this area alone. What you see right now is, with your dark vision as a tiefling, it is dark. There doesn't seem to be any light, but it's a little bit of a tunnel. It seems to go a decent amount in, and then that's kind of what you see right now. It's just a little tiny pathway that leads on. It looks like it bends up a little bit.
Everyone rest a little bit. I don't need to rest. I'm at full health. While they're resting, I'm going to go look at it, but I'm going to wait until people are resting.
Okay.
And I'll let whoever's awake know, and just be like, hey guys, give me a second.
No, BRB. All right.
BRB. AFK for a minute.
BRB, gotta fuck around and find out.
So for the sake of short rests, I will allow everyone to take a short rest except for Ari, which means you do not get the Song of Rest, but all of the other things will apply. So Ari, you're continuing on down this passage. You're kind of on all fours, crawling a little bit. It does open up, I'd say about 15-20 feet in from just a straight army crawl.
All right. What do I? Because again, I'm looking to be sneaky, quiet. I'm not trying to leave everyone behind. I just want to do a little bit of exploration because I'm doing okay.
Okay.
And if it's only a couple of minutes, then I will go back for the short rest and get my one. I'll get my one grip point that I've used back. But I do want to scoot down and see exactly what I'm looking at here. Is this just a path that has a little chamber? Is this a path that has an opening to a whole other space? How much can I reasonably explore in 15 minutes without sticking my head out to a risk of getting shot in the face by an arrow?
You could probably, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, 50, 60, 60, 70. So I would say crawling for 5 minutes for the 20 feet or so, and then it opens up a little bit so you can walk. I would say within 10 minutes, you're probably able to get down a path pretty long. You do realize it's a rather long path, and it just seems to be just that, just a path. But if you do want to continue on just a little bit further than this area here, it will open up a little bit, and you do see that it now opens up into 3 paths. There's one, it seems to be lit with a violet light. There's one that seems to be lit with a crimson light, and there's one that seems to be completely enshrouded in darkness. You cannot make you can't make heads or tail of anything that goes on beyond after that.
I'm going to turn back and communicate this to the team, and Ari's going to advocate really hard. I've snuck around enough places, caverns and holes, to know where the real things of value lie, and it's not through doors that slide open, it's through holes you must crawl through with intricate lights. Lady Tatiana, I assume you know the same. Ortega, I know for a fact that you do. Alice, I'm assuming you are who you say you are, and this goes without question. And Parrish, please trust me.
I disagree, unfortunately, on this one, Ari.
This is the least surprising thing I've encountered. You know what, Ortega? Why don't you hold up the rear then? Anyone who wants to come down this path, come with me.
I ain't getting up there, Ari.
Then I think that maybe staying to the rear of us and making sure we're not ambushed from behind, staying in contact, I think these are all actually incredibly important things that we need someone to do anyway. If you can't fit up there, if it's not your vibe, I get it. We can still do this together as a team because I need someone having my back, and there's no one better at it than you, please.
I get that, Ari, but I think we need to keep our eye on the prize of why we're really here, and that's to find out more about the jewels the Talus is carrying, not about finding treasure. I'm all for finding treasure once we've found what we need about the jewels.
I don't think that we
have to get out of here somehow anyway, so we might as well take that way on the way out.
I don't think that we disagree at all. I'm telling you, everything in my guts and my guns say we go this way. We follow you a lot, and I'm asking you to follow me. Please, Ortega, either hold up my 6, get out of the way.
If you guys want to go in that way, I will lift you all up so that you can get in there.
That's what I wanted, my friend. Thank you. Anyone
but that will leave me down here.
I'm going to do everything I can to rope and bring you up if you can shrink down. I have been through this enough to know that you can actually crawl through this. Not in your giant size. You can't. But if you were to get back to regular Ortega, who is still...
I'm currently regular Ortega. I would have to rage in order to get everybody up there.
Then
I only have one of those left.
Well, then, do you know what? I've got a rope. This is not necessary at all. Bam. There's a rope. Everyone climb. Including you, Ortega. You can fit in here. Come on. Unless anyone has anything else to say. Is there anyone else who doesn't want to do this? And I look over to Talus. I'm like, leading isn't usually my style, but I don't often feel this right about something.
No, I agree with you, Ari. I think it says a lot that somebody went out of their way to carve out this path. It speaks more to me than the rooms of screaming statues and bloodbaths do. I think we should go this way as well.
With me then, yes?
Of course.
I'll tell you what, Ari.
Lady Tatiana, will you come with me?
I just short rested, so I can actually be large for a single minute with...
You know what, man? Honestly, don't worry about it. You don't need large. I got a rope, man. We're good. There's ropes.
But I can do this one, like it refreshes on a short rest. I can do these ones on a short rest. My short burst ones I can do on a short rest.
Whatever you feel like, man. Lady Tatiana, will you come with me?
I'm going to walk up to Ortega and put my hand just like on his shoulder and kind of look up at him because clearly, even when he's not raged, he is way taller than I am. And say, if I walk up there, between Ari and I, we should be able to pull everyone up one by one. Don't waste your anger. We may need it.
Fair enough. Although I will say that where that seems to lead and where the other room was, the other tunnel from the past room with the statue, they seem to be heading right towards each other.
Ortega, I think you've been right about a lot in this temple. There's been a lot set against us. There's been a lot put here to hurt us. just want to ask you, why don't you trust a path carved out separate from that? Every door has led to pain. Every door has led to traps. What makes you mistrust someone who'd step off that path?
We got sent here to find out about a vestige of divergence from what we've been told could have been created here. It was made in this time period, which tells me that something in this temple proper is going to have the answers. If the group wants to go in there, that's fine. My thought on that is that I will circle back and approach it from the other direction.
Separating the party's a poor idea. And the end of the line is, you can be with us or not, Ortega. Just help. And honestly, I'm not willing to discuss this anymore. I'm moving forward. The rope is here, and we'll pull up who is here. Whether you are large or not, I am moving forward.
Ari, I have one more question. This was your plan. You asked me to trust you because I don't know a lot right now. But you shot Lady Tatiana, and she did not forgive you, and you've taken it really hard. And what I want to know is, can you not be forgiven and be okay with that for the rest until we get out of here? Is this clouding your judgment at all?
Well, Parrish, in conversations we've had before, it's tough when you hurt and fail people. But before, I'm sorry as hell, and my judgment is clouded because I want to keep my friends safe. And I believe that this is the best way to do it. I'm not walking through their plans. I'm not walking through their death traps with blood-rising pools of viscera that suck out the life from the people that I care about. I will take this path. I have seen its potential. Please come with me. I need you to come with me.
Oh, all right.
Thank you. And I put my hand down with the rope.
But I think it's the right path because I think it's the right path. You shouldn't be trying to protect everyone here because you can't. There's hardships ahead of us. Just trust that we can protect ourselves and you can try and help.
Exactly that. I put my hand down to help him get up the last step. And I bring him up.
Predator grip.
Predator. It's the predator grip. There's still some just enough broiness in this. Just enough. Because we're both pretty awesome. So anyone else want to come up with me? Because I'll do the same thing. I'm there to help everyone up. Predator grip, no predator grip. That's something you get to choose.
I think Tatiana was also already up because she walked up the wall.
Yeah, no, she can just do that.
I don't need no handout.
Honestly, it was a misapprehension. It's exceptionally cool. Also, you give me my favorite nightmares.
Ortega's gonna kind of take a step back from the wall. He's gonna use his giant's might to grow large for just a minute, and he's gonna run, jump up off the wall, and try and pull himself up. If he could toss Ari up there, he can probably jump it.
Yeah, it should be fine. I'm not going to make you roll for it.
That's okay, because I expended a use of my giant's might, so it's worth it for you anyway.
That's fair. Cool.
And then as soon as I get there, I have to immediately shrink down to pull myself up.
So I guess it was Ari, Tatiana, Parrish. Did Talus or Ortega go up first?
Ortega brought up the rear, as Ari suggested.
Got it.
And it's
Talus
what Ortega wants.
Talus will have, if there's a rope in place, she's all for it. She'll expertly
Can I make a sleight of hand
rigging
check?
of sails.
Kyle?
Yeah, for what purpose?
I would like to put a bone rose in the back of Talus's belt.
Okay, sure. Yeah, make a sleight of hand check. Talus, since you said you're expertly doing this, make an acrobatics check.
Yeah, obviously. It's expertly, I promise.
Yeah.
I want to know if both if she expertly climbs and also if she notices someone tucking something into her belt.
18 on
I get a
acrobatics.
17 as my cloud. Well, it's the cloud rune, but my Cheshire cat ways give me advantage on sleight of hand checks.
All right. Sorry, Talus, what was your roll for the acrobatics? 18?
18.
Okay, so you expertly climb up the rope.
Expertly.
But, because you're climbing up the rope, old 1960s Batman style. Your swashbuckled coat kind of droops down a little bit, and Ortega is able to successfully just kind of clip something in real quick without you noticing.
Ooh.
Once you guys all get on up into the hole, I'll say for the sake of effort, you guys are able to reconvene back when it opens up a little bit. You guys are, shuffling your way through. Ortega, you're kind of struggling because you're a big guy. But ultimately, you end up into the same area where Ari and Tatiana are, and you are all met with the same choice in this room. I wouldn't even classify it as a room. room. It's about 10 feet high, 5 foot wide. And it branches off into the three. One is lit with it's a torch. It seems to be magical in nature. It's violet colored, and you see the crimson, same thing. And you see one that is completely shrouded in a impenetrably magical darkness.
Well, do you
magical darkness? He said, like the dark vision you can't even see.
Can't even see through it at all. It appears as though, like, even with like the dark vision and the true sight and any vision that you have, like you can see darkness beyond even the continued flame torched areas, but it immediately goes dark after that as well. It does seem as though all of them have some form of a magical darkness to it. Just two hallways are lit, one is not.
Is what's lighting the hallway at all portable? Is it a torch that can be lifted when we move them?
It does not appear to be liftable. It's like built into the rock, kind of.
Okay.
If you guys scoot ahead a little bit, I can at least see if my blind sight will work.
Yeah, no, come on through. Make way for them. Do you see anything with it? Like, can you do this here? What do you got?
It's gonna be tight. Let's put it that way.
I can only see within 10 feet of me with my blind sight. So like I will have to go in.
I feel like I dragged you up here. Telling you to go first into a blinding dark doesn't seem okay. I don't love the idea of splitting up as a group, but I do feel like we have 3 paths in front of us, 2 lit and 1 saying stay out. That's either great news or the worst news.
You're not suggesting split the party now because you literally 10 seconds ago just said let's not split the party and have Ortega go around through the other way.
There wasn't 3 paths in front of us offering mystical outcomes now when we're looking for mystical results.
What's the difference between 3 paths and 4?
You can climb down if you feel like it then. But for now, I want to know what we can see, and I want to know what people think. Ortega is generally dissatisfied, but able to see dark better than most. Lady Tatiana, anything drawing your attention?
Well, most places they don't want you to discover. They try to scare you off of. So I'm a little more inclined to agree with Ortega and choose the darkest path.
That's 2 for darkest path. I look over to Parrish and I look over to Talus. I brought us up here. I feel like I've already gotten to cast my vote. What do you think?
I'm not afraid of the dark.
Then I think it's decided. We travel together.
Or do you want me to go around the other way?
We're all going down the dark path, Ortega. It's your choice if you want to come with us.
I'm not saying I don't want to go. I'm still saying that we're literally heading back to we're heading back towards where we came from.
Directionally, yes, not the same room, and I believe that we've agreed upon the idea that the best things find dark shadows to hide in. We're going this way. I'm going this way. You
Well,
coming or
then let
not?
me lead the way since maybe I'll be able to actually see something.
I put my hand on his back. Thank you. Lead the way.
Okay.
Just gotta wait for my roll. I need to move me back to where. There we go.
So you guys all head on down the dark path. As you get to a certain point, you reach into this magical darkness, and you are once again met with a loss of one of your senses. Previously,
That's the range that I can see, Kyle, with blind sight.
that's fine. You guys don't see anything. that's just it. You guys breach into this magical darkness, and as you take one last look at your friends in the party, you breach in through. You can see.
Did you say one last look at our friends in the party? That's the most ominous thing you've ever said as a DM.
You know each other are there. You can hear each other. You're talking. You know that you're there, and one of you has one hand on one side of the path, and the other one, you guys start to link arms. You can walk forward, and you know that there's a side, and you continue walking on further and further in. You at some point feel yourselves curving and to the left, curving to the right. You zig and you zag. I would say you travel about. It's hard to tell. It is hard to tell how far you've traveled. You can't quite make heads or tails, but it's been a while. I would say walking along this path itself has been, in terms of time, 3 hours. As you,
I guess walking in the dark takes a while.
Find yourselves exiting out of this magical darkness. Once again, you find yourselves met with a path, one lit with violet light, one lit with crimson light. night. There's a path forward, enshrouded in darkness, and the path that you just exit, enshrouded in darkness.
We're in it now.
Ara, did you just say you're worried now?
I said we're in it now. I'm worried as a general state of being.
I don't know if we could travel 3 hours in complete darkness and not be a little worried. I appreciate the whistling, Ari.
You know, the song we used to sing.
Well, at least we have some light now.
Indeed we do. Let's take a quick measure of ourselves. Is anyone hurt? Are you guys okay?
No worse than I was before. Kyle, I would like to do investigation. See if maybe there are any like carvings on the wall indicate like which path is the right path, being that this looks like a man-made tunnel. So any indication of which path we should be choosing next.
Yeah. Make an investigation check.
I have advantage on investigation, so I'm gonna roll again, and it's literally the exact same thing. So 9. I know nothing.
You
know 9. You know 9.
No. You look around, you see that there seems to be trotted footprints covered in the dust and the rock, coverings. They seem to go every which way. Unfortunately, there's really no way to make sense of which way was which, unfortunately.
Well, that's useless. There are footprints everywhere, and for all I know, some of them are ours. It's very frustrating.
I don't want to keep pushing one direction or the other. I don't know if consensus is helpful. Is there any sort of understanding why those things are the color they are? Is there something about understanding like what kind of magic it might be, what kind of plant it might be? Is there any sort of understanding? Is there meaning to the color difference?
Alice, what color are the jewels?
That's a good question. I believe. So the image that I have, it's golden. Is that correct, Kyle?
Yes, they are golden, and the actual amulets themselves. That's actually a real question. I should know this. There's
been a while since I've looked at it, so
yeah, it's
been a while.
Ugh, good song.
It is actually just golden. The amulets themselves, they seem to be just encased in a gold, like a gold chamber. So there's actually there's no jewels that have looked like they're opened yet.
Yeah, but there's something in there, and we just can't see it. I'm not going to recommend like opening a vestige of divergence. That's like, I don't know, man. I saw Indiana Jones and the Ark of the Covenant. I'm not going to do that.
Well, all right, pick away. When in doubt, just pick away and we'll follow it.
We don't have anything to go off. It doesn't really matter. We just have to make a choice and stick with it.
Does anyone have an ability to scout forward in a way that makes them quiet? Can anyone go small, invisible? Can anyone? I used to have a druid in my party, and he was fantastic.
I think we just need to pick a direction and go. Even if we turn back now, it's another 3 hours of trudging. We'll get weary before too long.
I have no appetite for that either.
In Talus, sorry, go ahead, finish up.
No, please go ahead.
In Talus's head, she's just gonna hear, "Don't offer to go invisible. It'll only last a minute."
Can I make a check to find the bone rose?
Yeah, you're searching for something. Make an investigation check.
Yeah, that's a dirty 20.
I put it in her belt loop, though.
It's not. Yeah, okay. It's not hard to find. You're able to find it. It's just right there on the belt loop.
Amazing. I'm gonna pull it out and crush it in my hand.
I'm gonna look at Ortega and very jokingly say, "You never give me flowers."
If it's helpful, I could go invisible.
Yeah, I need to leave. That would be incredibly helpful. If it puts you at a disadvantage for a combat that I would imagine is coming, then don't do it. But Talus, if you can go invisible, first off, awesome. Second off, would have been awesome to know earlier. Third off, don't give a shit. That's awesome.
It really just came to me now.
Tati, you don't look like the woman that needs flowers.
No, you're right.
All I want to say, and I'm not going to say this out loud, but I do, like, in my head, Ari wants to put his hand on her shoulder and be like, "I'd bring you dead ones that I stole from graves." No, Ari says it. That's exactly what Ari says.
Now do it in character, because that will just make it so much more authentic.
I feel like that's hard for me to actually do, because I don't think I actually would do it. No, that's fine. But we do need to press on. So we don't.
I was going to say, if you're trying to get me to forgive you faster, it's working.
Oh, and you haven't even heard the song yet. You haven't even heard the song. Do you know what? I'm going to write a song called I'm So Sorry I Shot You. I'm going to write a song. I'm going to do that. It's happening.
No, please. It's fine. You want to be
All right, Paris, you got any ideas?
I didn't say that out loud.
Pick a direction to go in. You're the newest to the group. You pick a direction.
Left.
Fair enough. Ortega starts walking left.
I go right with him, and I put my arm around Parrish and say, like you, stalemates can be tricky sometimes.
I'm glad one of us made a decision.
You're lost. Keep your left hand on the wall and follow that out of the maze. Works for mazes, works for labyrinths.
Okay.
Ari whistles tune as we proceed through.
So you all are able to link arms once again, and you head on through the path of the violet light. As you set off left, you again are encased in that magical darkness. As your vision fades, once again, whispers and laughter and some random comedic well-timed fart jokes or whodunits echoes. You find yourself zigging, you find yourself zagging, going left, going right, going up, going down.
Every unclaimed one gets claimed by Ortega.
No, we knew they were all you. It was just a fun game while we passed the time. Also, I'm holding your hand and you levitate each time you fart. It's exceptional.
No, it's just in your face. I don't levitate. You just feel like I'm levitating because it's a downward rush.
This is the worst math ever.
As you continue on down this zigzagging path, you find yourselves expecting to come out, but you keep walking and walking and walking. When you finally reach a light at the end of the tunnel, you find yourselves exiting from the same area that you had just left, and everyone gets a point of exhaustion.
Oh no.
As you are now all lost in the labyrinth.
Okay.
I had exhaustion in roll 20.
Well, I'm ready to go back down the path that we originally came through, because this has been 7 hours.
Longer. You don't know. You've lost track of time at this point.
Like,
We can rest, or we can continue on. If we made a big old loop, we know that's one big old loop. Again, they hide things in labyrinths, and I believe there's something of value here, and my spirit is not broken on this. But no others might be. It's not my call. Not for 7 hours. Not when I'm this tired. We move through the green side. Do we go back?
Who's to say going back is going to actually take us back to where we want to go? Oh, we know this is all magically enchanted, and we're just going to continue to be turned around. I don't think we should go back.
Ortega's gonna put a scimitar on the ground. Well, if we end up back here, we'll know.
You don't leave a weapon. You do something like this, and I'm going to try to gouge a mark in the wall.
Okay. Make an attack roll against
Against the rock.
Screw you, the rock.
Eat it, rock. That's a 23.
You
hit the rock.
You hit the rock. You definitely smell what the rock was cooking, and you're able to make a tea for Tatiana.
Does she Zorro it? Does she Zorro the wall?
Yeah. There. We've been here. Next tunnel. Let's go.
Yeah, bring your scimitar with you. It's better as a weapon than as a marking stick. Also, she signed a brick wall. Dude, you're doing very well. And I would say...
I have an extra blade. I might as well leave on the mark. I only have 2 hands and I have 3 blades.
Now, Ortega, if you're leaving behind weapons, personally, not the one I would choose to leave behind.
She's not wrong, Ortega. It's messing your shit up, which messes our shit up. Now, we don't need to talk about this now. You see how sometimes it's good to move on, but there's a conversation coming with you and that blade.
I'm fine. Once I have a long rest, I'll be fine, just like last time.
Demons never do anything while you sleep. Let's keep moving.
Okay.
And I say we start going down the other side.
What are we going to do when we hit another fork? We haven't thought this through. We're just hoping that we reach where we're supposed to be.
We don't even know where we're supposed to be at this point.
I say we trust Ari. You thought the path that was the darkest held secrets? Can anyone say that is a bad idea from where we are? This place is steeped in darkness.
Will you still come with me?
Of course.
Then let's go this way. And what are the two paths we currently have now? There's a darkness. Oh no, it's just the upward path or the green path. I would like to take the upward path into the darkness.
Are you saying
as long as? Oh, I'm colorblind.
Okay, because it's red.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm colorblind, folks.
He thinks the room he's in is as green as your green screen.
Oh, jeez.
Red screen.
This has been happening so poorly.
Okay, so it's.
I would ideally head into the upward path.
Okay.
If Parrish is with me, and I'll look to Tatiana, and I will look to Talus, and I will look to Ortega. But I'm not stopping.
Ari, I'm telling you that I trust you. Taking this path is the correct one, and I'm telling you that if you're going to barge ahead without everyone, you need to take a second and think about that. We are in here together. We are what keeps each other safe. If anyone thinks that we need to leave, we need to leave, and we need to find a way out together. I'm telling you, I think you're right, but I'm telling you to take a second. Stop and think.
Sometimes when I stop and think, I lose things that are very important to me. But you are also, as a rule, both kind and right. I'll take a pause. I'll wait for the others.
Okay. See.
You know, sometimes we lose things no matter what choices we make.
It's a conversation for another song.
Okay. So you all proceed on through the other side of the darkened path. As your vision escapes you once again, you head off into the darkness. You find yourselves trudging and troping along, zigging and zagging yet again as you spend 2 hours, 3 hours. Time at this point, you're not even sure how long. You come up into an area new that you have not seen yet. As you move forward out of the darkness into a new area, met with a violet light and a crimson light. The path forward and the path on.
Only two choices?
No, there's three. There's technically always 4 choices. Really, there's where you came, the 2, and then the 1.
Well, shall we mark this tunnel again?
For what it's worth. But we came across this place no worse the wear. Does anyone disagree? The dark path seems to be the way.
It does, and it was less scary than the first time.
I wouldn't get too comfortable, boys. This place is full of surprises.
I'm exhausted, but I would like to carry on into the darkness.
Before we do,
I really don't want to take us alone.
Before we continue on, I am not the most well-versed in religions and deities and gods, but I can't help but notice that there are always 3 paths, and I don't know, something about jewels, 3 prayers, and the gods that appeared in visions and all that. Are the gods associated with any particular colors or spheres that might be related to colors? Are we missing something here, a deeper message or a trick of some kind?
Make a religion check.
I'm so bad at that.
Come on.
I will give the help action, because I'm not doing it, but I believe in you.
You shouldn't. That was a nat 1 plus 0.
That's good. Because I believe in you, you get to roll again.
Power of friendship.
10 plus 0.
So, yeah, it's pretty coincidental that it's always, 3s. The colors. I will say this: the color of the violet flame, from what you can recall, matches the color of the pustules on the palm of the statue or the statues.
So that sucks. I vote we avoid that forever, honestly.
This is avoided forever.
I mean, the darkness has not done us wrong so far.
That's where I want to go. I'm tired. And I would be lying if I didn't say I think I might have brought us down a wrong path. And I would also be lying if I didn't say that I am not done yet. And I want to keep going down the dark path. And I think I need to keep going down that dark path. I won't make any of you come with me. But I want to go, and I am scared to go alone. Please come with me.
Of course we're all gonna go. I am gonna mark this wall, though.
Oh, no, it's my favorite part of the entire day. Please do. Honestly, do it up in cursive. Give it like a little flicker-room.
It's not as graceful, but it's a 17.
Yeah, you're able to mark it again. You mark it different with you've noticed that the paths all seem to look similar, so you put the T in a different spot and just make a mental note as to where it is.
Eventually, we're going to have to get this to the point where you're so proficient at this that you can like instantly graffiti "It's Tatty time" or like "Tatty P" up on the wall and like give it a real tag. Because I think what Lady Tatiana Petrovic really needs is her graffiti gimmick.
Yeah. Just add one more thing to the angsty goth girl.
She tags. Oh, that's amazing. I would love to tag.
It's like I'm like imagining some like German, sub underculture. Like she's got big headphones on and she's got like a hoodie and like a face mask. Listening to some like death metal trance music or something,
If I cannot swim in blood, I will swim within the dark. Music grinds within my soul.
I literally just like picture like has anyone watched Nomura?
I haven't. I think
Nomura? I don't know what that is.
Netflix, kids movie, but like
not a sponsor,
part of it, she's literally like graffitiing and like listening to headphones, and that's just immediately what I pictured. But yeah,
sorry about that, guys. If I have to try and mute you guys, like I can't just mute everything out of my hearing aids. I have to end the phone call. Otherwise, you guys are all still talking to me, and that's a lot in your hearing aids, man. That's a lot. That makes sense.
It's all good.
And then it's hard to talk to my wife when she's trying to put the baby in the crib here next to me. And
little baby Decker, love your buddy.
He might be fussy later. He had his 4-month shots on Monday, so he's been sleeping a lot. He's fine. He's just been sleeping a lot, so he hasn't been eating anywhere near as much as he normally does. But
then when he's hungry, he's real hungry, probably.
No, he's really angry. Yeah.
Well, I mean, one of the same.
But his bedtime went
cheating really badly. Bud, when you get there, I want you to call me. I'm going to back you up. And I've got so many both hacks and like personal coping mechanisms because it's tricky.
I would love to call you, Josh, but I still haven't got your phone number.
I absolutely have my phone number.
No, I don't.
Wait, how do you have my Sportsnet 360 account login, but not my phone number?
I've given you my phone number. In the last 2 sessions, you have said you will text me.
Oh gosh, well, that's some embarrassing ADHD shit right there.
Niall's got my Amazon Prime, but he doesn't have my phone number either.
Sometimes it do be like that.
Sometimes it do be.
Yeah.
God damn it, Lee, you're fantastic.
I'm still waiting for somebody to friend me on PlayStation 5.
Who?
Mm-hmm.
And like, I want to put Sportsnet and Prime on my phone, but I don't want to go through the hassle of having Kyle or Josh have to send me the code to actually finish the login process.
Oh, dude, I'll take care of that anytime, bud. I'll do it after this session. Legit, I'm around. I'll fucking take care of it. It's great.
I don't have the Sportsnet app on my phone, and I don't need it on my phone.
Oh,
that's no problem. All right, let's play D&D.
Okay, so you guys have made the decision that the darkness is your friend, and you have the choice to choose between the 2 not dark areas or the 2 dark areas, one of which is where you came from and the other is the path ahead.
North, we go north.
Into the darkness.
Once more into the dark you head, saying goodbye to your friends as you lose vision of them once again, walking ever so stalwartly on with confidence that you've made the right decision.
Not confident. Ortega is not confident.
Not confident?
You know what? I think Parrish will say it's easier to walk into the darkness with all of you being unsure if it's the right way. So thank you.
Continuing on, minutes turn into hours as you trudge forward. And once again, as you start to see light at the end of the tunnel, you realize that you all exit into another path, this time new yet again. And the 2 lights beside you, as you take a look around in this area, they seem older. Ari, if you make a history check for me, please.
Okay.
Ashley marks the ball.
19. And for history, -1 for 18.
So you recall two things. These torches on the wall seem reminiscent to the very first torches that you've seen. And this hallway looks as though it is the continuation of the hallway that you had seen earlier when you had seen that light. You've successfully navigated through these darkened labyrinthian tunnels.
A back path to what we'd already discovered. It's nothing.
You went back to what you already discovered. But hey, that's okay.
Just 2 days has gone by, and we're exhausted.
Ari sits down for just a second. Well, thank you. I'm sorry.
No, Ari, I should be thanking you. A number of times I suggested that I come around this way and enter in this way. I fear we would never have seen each other again had I done that, so thank you.
Glad you were in there with me. It would have been hell if I had you a different way, and it would have been hell if I couldn't find you. Let's rest a moment and then let's work our way back. Shame makes for good poetry.
Why don't we just walk around and go back through the blood room? Seems way easier than going back through this mess.
Oh, no, I will never go back through that mess again. Successfully navigating a labyrinth to find yourself back where you started. And, well, deep breaths and forward. Deep breaths and forward. Do we want to rest? If we now know that there's this labyrinth behind us, we're messed up, we're exhausted. I don't want to rest in here. There's a cavern that randomly fills with blood. This does not seem like a fun place to sit and chill for 8 hours. I think we have to press on, but we're kind of boned with this exhaustion point.
All right, I don't care how exhausted I am. I'm not resting again until we get out of here.
You know what, man? Me neither. But I think I might step back for a bit. I look to Ortega, and I look to Talus, and I look to Parrish, and I look to Lady Tatiana, and Captain. It was fun for a minute, but I'm going to give you the wheel. Ari just sets back and leans against the wall.
Do I have any kind of magical sense from the jewels of where we're supposed to be going? Because I'm inclined to just go back into the blood room and follow that path, but I am a little bit concerned that we're ignoring this pretty obvious screaming statue terrible path. That might be another option. Yeah, do I have any kind of magical sense?
Can Ortega discern that Talus is contemplating the statue?
I wouldn't say you're able to discern whether she's thinking about the statue specifically, but she is. You can tell that she's definitely trying to weigh her options here a little bit. In terms of Talus, you look at the Jewel of Three Prayers in its dormant state, and you hold it up to your head a little bit, and you start assessing it, and you see as though it looks as if it were able to be opened, it looks like you would open into a set of 3 compartments, or 3 pieces could be opened or taken out, or you can see clearly there's some lines in there in this mechanism. You're trying to pull, you can't pull it open. It's magically sealed shut. Magically sealed shut. But
sure.
Knowing the rules of 3, especially in this lower leveled area, you have the feeling that all of these rules of 3 may be connected. 3 corridors, 3 statues, covering this giant statue with a door in the middle. Everything that's seemed out of place, or at least seemed not touched by some form of divine, maybe good or bad, or good and evil, I should say. It's always been 3s, and the orcs, even when they were paying homage, when they were doing rituals, you saw that there was 3 drains on both sides. So it's hard to figure out whether it is the right way to go or not the right way. But you do know that this area, or the blood room from this path that you just exited from, seemed to have been potentially an escape. So if someone had to escape from this room or that room, potentially may not have been the right way to go.
As much as I hate to suggest it, since we've come back all this way, perhaps it's worth it to venture back into the room with the screaming statue.
You mean the room that's right there?
Yes.
Do we have to walk through to get back to the blood room?
I don't think we should go back to the blood room.
Would you believe me if I said I think you're right? What if we were just heading towards another stairwell down here? There was more than one corridor upstairs. If we were just heading to another stairwell. What if we went in the trap backwards?
That's what I'm concerned about. I think
The only thing that stands out down here is this stupid statue temple.
It does seem as if we're looking at this backwards, and we should more be considering that all roads converge here.
So you want to go through the door then?
I mean...
Don't second guess yourself, Talus. Do you want to go through the door?
I'm gonna walk up to the statue, and Kyle, I believe you said that the pustules on the hands are connected to the door somehow?
From what Parrish was able to ascertain, yeah. I'm assuming probably over the course of the hours and maybe potentially days, he's probably relayed that information to you.
I do some kind of investigation to see if there's any kind of physical mechanism associated with the door, or if it seems all magical.
It seems you've been in the room before and you've had a chance to take a look. It seems as though the arms are they're obviously connected somehow. It seems as though that there's a 1,000 chains, littered all over the place. They seem to be magically put in place. It's possible that by destroying the pustules, it may alter the chains, but as for the door, the door does look like it's magically sealed shut for sure.
Ortega's going to go and stand at the bottom of the room if he was looking at the statue from where the door to the blood room would be.
Okay.
And he would like to kind of investigate or discern like an investigation or an arcana check to see if he can figure out a way to disarm the magical seal on said door.
Like in the center door of the chest?
Yeah.
Well, it is glowing with the same aura as the pustules. You can try to break the door down just with brute strength, but you can tell that it's magically sealed shut. And the last time that you guys did something and failed with the magic, someone got shot.
Right. And sorry, Parrish, how did you try to remove or destroy pustules? Was that by magical means or something else?
I tried to pull them off. It secured fastly. I didn't try hitting them though, and if I've learned anything in the last day or so, sometimes violence is the answer. I would be very okay if we tried to blast them off or hit them otherwise. I don't know if everyone will be safe around the statue though. I know it tried to affect myself and it did affect Ari.
Yeah, in fact, I'd actually like to sit back a little bit. I would look over to Lady Tatiana. I already told you what our deal is. I certainly don't plan on doubling up. I'm out on this one. You guys take your role. I'll support it.
Wait, there's something I remembered about the statue. After it failed to affect me, it turned its head to Ari. It means it can't affect more than one person at a time. If we walk in together. Someone's affected, we stop them. Make any choices they wouldn't want to. It's the safest for all of us.
Well, I can promise you one thing, Ari. You will not be shooting me again.
So what's the game plan?
I think Parrish is onto something. Obviously, the statue tried to protect whatever those ooey gooey grossness things are on the hands. So I know I can get up a hand. 2 other volunteers, each of us attack at the same time. Again, it can't attack all of us at once.
I don't know if I have a weapon that can damage it, but I can play support. And I saw 3 pustules up there. It'll only take 3 of you. And hell, you're all very capable of violence, and I applaud you for that.
I do have a certain skill that helps me hit things from a great distance with a great deal of accuracy.
I hit things real hard.
Well, hey, maybe we double team it. Maybe you pick me up and get me close. and I blow its brains out. Maybe you get up close and we're taking the hell out of it, but just let me know how I can help.
Well, I actually think it should be Talus, and she's the only other one I know of here that deals with hand-to-hand combat. Why don't we all go up there and hack our way at it? What's the worst that could happen?
So, very many bad things.
Yes, please don't tempt fate. So many bad things could happen.
It's a terrible idea. It's in like 1 million songs, and I only know half of them, and it's still a bad idea. Now, do
I
we
don't
want to...
remember the last day, and I even know that's the worst idea I've heard.
See, he's literally new here. Now, do we want to chat it, or do we want to shoot it from a distance?
I will suggest one more thing. I'm a little bit concerned that traditional means of destroying this might not be the most effective, and I'm gonna kind of spark to life some eldritch energy and in both of my hands, and I can shoot 2 of these at once. It won't cover the third one, but I can at least see what happens.
Well, you could try that, and Ari and I can have a little target practice.
Right, so we've got a good shoot it from a distance option. I've got a mage hand that can fiddle about with them if we just want to dislodge them. Do we want to destroy them? Do we want to dislodge them?
I don't think a mage hand is going to be strong enough to dislodge anything, alright?
I put my whole back into it. They're not coming off easy.
So destroy.
I vote we pop it like a pimple.
Pop it like a pimple.
Let's go.
But like it's hot.
I'm gonna blast them. I'm just gonna go for it and blast them.
All right.
And
Go to roll your attacks.
It's the ranged people are shooting it, so I'm gonna stand off in the hallway where it can't yell at me.
Uh-oh.
So I rolled twice for my 2 blasts. I got a 1 and I got a 2. So the 2 becomes a 10, if that helps.
I'm imagining those little sparklers that kids hold at fireworks.
I think if it's okay, Parrish would have come up behind you, like 10 feet behind.
Okay. What will that let her do?
Moral support.
Okay.
Support. Thank you.
I'm going to shoot at 2 of them as well then, because I'm following Talus's lead. I rolled a 19 and a 14, which with my bonus, I have like a +7 to hit on each. So that's a 26 and a 21. Blackjack, baby.
So before we do that, Talus,
No.
with your nat 1, it hits the pustule and it seems to get absorbed into the pustule, and you see it emanate throughout the statue as the hand seems to creep closer and to the body, and the head shifts its gaze towards you. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Ew, that's my least favorite one.
Oh, sorry.
And add a +4.
Wisdom. It was a wisdom. Yeah.
And still add a +4.
Okay, it's a wisdom.
It's a wisdom.
That's much better. Okay, so that 5 becomes a 15.
With
With the +4?
with the
Yeah.
So with
+6, +4.
as the eldritch blasts go off, one and then the other, your face disappears as you are
Interesting.
cursed. The scream is beating ever so loudly as Talus just becomes a blank slate. Ari, you take your shot at the one pustule, not realizing what happened because this all happened really rapidly. Bang bang! You hit the pustule. Roll your damage.
Sorry, never have my D12 around. Sorry. 6 and 12 with a +2, so 14 and 8 points of piercing damage.
You said 12 points of piercing damage?
12 + 2 for 14 piercing damage. I got a 12 on my 12, and then I rolled a 6 for an 8 because there's a +2 to each.
Okay.
My guns are called Singer and Slinger.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Let's just. All right, it's good. Now, as you do that, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Natural 1.
As Talus turns to you with her blank stare, as she doesn't take damage, but you feel this hellish rebuke emanating from her.
She can hellish rebuke the pustules?
She is connected right now to the pustules. I need you. I will roll that for you here. Oh, that's gonna hurt. So you take 13 points of fire damage.
Yikes.
You're a tiefling.
You
Oh, it's halved.
Ooh.
Oh, Oh goodness, Lee.
Good
What a
call.
Thank you, my guy. So does that round up or round down at 13?
Rounds down. Half a damage is not a damage.
Rounds down. Oh goodness. I mean, I'm not feeling great, but I'm feeling better than I would have. Ah, buddy, thank you.
Are we in initiative?
Similar to the last time, no, we're not in initiative. However, Tatiana and Ortega and yourself have a free action right now. You guys just all saw this happen. You see flames, kind of like this hellish flame, come out of Talus and just Ari.
I was admittedly here for moral support and also here for bear hug tackle if need be.
Okay.
And I'm primed and ready to go. So I am going to attempt a attack, which is going to be a grapple with athletics to get you in a bear hug. Just accept the hug for 18.
Ortega's gonna rage and start climbing up to one of the vestibules.
Oh no.
Against her, she rolled a 15 for her athletics.
Okay. You are grappled, and I'm going to go prone, which you're going prone to.
Okay.
I love it.
You do notice, Ortega, as you get up there, you do notice that one of the pulse jewels has actually been destroyed thanks to Ari.
Is it the one I'm on or one of the other ones?
Well, actually, leave that to Ari. Which one did you shoot?
I was shooting at the one that Talus wasn't shooting. When I saw her split, I was shooting at whichever one wasn't being done. That was my intention. So I guess I would pick, based on where she was shooting, I'm imagining that I would have moved around to get the one that's probably closest to me. I'd assume that if she's doing split hand, she'd get the one at the left and at the top. Then I would have moved, sorry, I wasn't doing character movement at the time, but I would have moved like over here to take I probably would have only gotten here when I saw her doing it, and I would have been next to her and fired a shot at the one that Ortega's up at.
So she would have fired off at the left and the right, not the top.
Left and the right? Okay, well, then I would have fired at the top then.
Okay, so the one
I still probably would be in the same position though.
Yeah, that makes sense. So Ortega, the one that you're on top of right now still has a pustule.
Okay.
Tatiana, are you doing anything?
I will take the other one and I'm going to run across
Yeah, Ortega would say that
and climb up the other one. And as I run past Parrish and Talus, I'm going to say, now children, don't have fun without me.
You guys do see that the one that Ari had shot, the triangle on the ground, the white line seems to start glowing in this ominous, almost radiant energy as it shoots forward. The pustule is destroyed, and you see chains that are linked to the top area start to crumble and dissolve away. You know, the triangle itself seems to be like this protective barrier as the chains dissolve from the line of this holy energy that's straight up.
Ortega's gonna absolutely crush this thing.
All right, make your attack.
No, I don't think I will. I'll just crit.
Okay. All right.
Everyone hated that.
You guys aren't focused on Ortega. You're focused on Talus.
It's not subtle after it happens.
Talus, you can make your wisdom save at the same time.
Okay.
You can make it with advantage since you're being distracted.
I will take the first one for 24.
So as Parrish gets to the ground and Ortega crits the second one, you snap out immediately with no recollection of hellish rebuking Ari. How much damage did you do for that, Ortega?
I haven't done that. I've just been trying to figure out my health.
Oh, okay.
Probably enough.
Well, yeah, probably enough. Tatiana, make your attack. I'm assuming you're attacking as well.
Sure am. Okay, first hit is a 23. Damage for that is 9. And I'm going to hit it again.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, oh look, a 24. Good rolls. And another 9 for damage.
Okay.
35 points, Kyle.
As the two run up, ever so stalwart in their endeavor, they run right up, boom, slice down, pop them like a pimple, and They burst almost in unison as Talus wakes up with Ari beside, shaking off the cinders of the singe of the hellish rebuke. Parrish laying on the ground with Talus. The white lights that make the triangle light up and pretty much right on top of you guys. Or Tatiana Ortega, you see the chains that are from the left and from the right immediately start to disintegrate from the origin of where the light is as it shines right through. You see this statue immediately stops its scream. No one can hear the scream anymore. Its mouth starts to close. And you see it starts to look around at you as it gets up. Makes this like a stone-like stretch. And you see the aura surrounding the door start to shimmer and match that of the white aura. It looks around at you all and it bends down and it rips open the doors as this bright white light shines and takes over this entire room around you. And you see it's now more or less sitting down in a way that you can just walk in through this door. And it opens up its arms and it motions for you to enter. And you all hear in your voices, "There is not much time."
I know that voice.
Ortega's just going to say, "Move," and he's going to jump off. And as you see him head for the door, you will notice that the black on his arm has reached up to his shoulder.
You're going to have to Winter Soldier your ass, aren't I?
He's already lost the arm.
No, that was the other arm.
The other arm.
Okay,
Well, friends, it seems like this is going to close at some point. Hey, maybe we stick some shit in the door so it doesn't close all the way?
Oh, less talking, more walking. Let's go, everybody. Come. In the doors.
He's already through the door.
I'm going to stick
Move and move.
like pan under the door. So, hey,
How big is the door?
There's a there's a purchase.
The door.
How big is the door,
It's
Kyle?
actually not that big. It's
Oh, okay. Ortega shrinks down.
Yeah, it's about a 5 foot door. It's a regular standard size door. Not that
I
much.
will use my crowbar to try and prop the door open. I'll get another one when I get back to town. It's a crowbar. It's not hard to find. But I'll put that in there. Did I recognize the voice?
You don't seem to recognize this voice at all. It seems as though that it's just like the voice of the statue.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah. As you all quickly shuffle your way through this magical door, you go through the door and you go down like stairs, but with the statue, it doesn't make any sense. You can tell that it's like a magical planar door. As you enter through, you walk down about maybe 70, 80, 90 flights of stairs as you just continue on down, as far down as, probably farther down from the first floor to the second floor, farther than that even, as you continue on down. You find yourselves lost in a way, just not in location, but in mind. You're mindlessly running down these stairs, and you come at long last to what feels like the bottom of the stairs. As you look down at the bottom of your screen, you enter into an area, and the Jewel of Three Prayers starts to shine, glowing a similar glow. You see this crystalline structure at the bottom of this crystal crater, surrounded in this, not a large room by any sense of the words, but it seems as though that you are no longer on the material plane from what it looks like, as you see the tiny passageway that defies reality, distorting any sense of direction as it twisted and as it turned, making its way through the earth to the other place, this unknown plane deep inside the Betrayer's Rise. You see that the passage is now ended in this circular chamber. The walls are covered with softly glowing amber colored crystals that fill this crater, and at the room's center, the bottom of a crater, you find an altar made of the same crystal. You notice that for those of you that had heard a voice long ago, you hear once again, "Changebringer, your luck shall not hold behold, this voice, it echoes in your mind and then becomes silent. And the sheltering embrace of Avandra's lingering presence has dispelled any and all curses in this area. If you were affected by the screams, you are no longer affected by any screams. Talus, you feel a tug from around your neck as the jewel of 3 prayers seems to be pushing you forward, pulling you towards the center of this crater. It's as if it wants to be placed on this altar, and you can feel at first it was nothing and you were able to resist it, but now it's almost levitating as it's trying to pull you. What do you do?
Okay. I am going to take a few steps towards the altar, and then I'm going to pause and trying to hold back for a few moments as I reach out in my mind and see if Saigon is watching, see if I can feel her presence.
You take a moment to feel the presence, and you don't feel anything. In fact, it's just empty. You feel another voice calling you, not Saigon. You're not sure whether it's the voice coming from this memoried hall or from the Jewel of 3 Prayers itself. But you feel as though you know this voice.
I'll step up to the altar and I'll remove the jewels and I'll place them.
Okay. As you place the jewel down onto the altar, you see all of you once again. Well, I guess not all of you. For the first time, Parrish and Talus. A spectral figure blossoms forth from the amulet. This warrior who called himself Alexian in your previous vision looks up at you with a faint smile and says, "You came, you followed, you can find me." And you notice that the crystals around you, they glow brightly and your vision goes white. And you see a company of armored soldiers, Alexian among them, marching into the Betrayer's Rise. Their expressions are grim. Although they do not speak, you can tell that none of them expects to come home. The vision shifts again and everyone in the company of soldiers is dead except for Alexian, who continues to fight while surrounded by corpses of mortals and demons. He's hurled across battlefields by claws of this gorilla-like demon. The scene blurs. He falls to his knees, pleading before a simple wooden altar that bears the holy symbol of Avandra. At the end of his prayer, he's lifted to his feet by a tall young woman with light brown skin and flowing black hair. A foreboding voice cuts through this scene of divine intervention, and Alexian freezes. "The Changebringer and Immortal," the voice intones. "What brings you into my sacred devouring darkness? Even if you save him, Changebringer, he will suffer. He will die. He will be forgotten, and all that he has worked to save will crumble and be devoured by worms. Why invite further suffering? Let go. Give in. All is futile in the end, so why?" As the voice trails off, Alexian turns to face you and falls to his knees in tears. The scenery shifts, and the forsaken warrior is now underwater amid the ruins of a sunken city. The crawling king speaks true. All's futile. All's been forgotten, and I am lost in darkness. Please help me set it right. As this vision fades, you're once again brought back to this room. The spectral image of Alexian still lingers, as if waiting. You see he holds up 3 fingers. He says, 3 questions. No more and no less.
Okay, we can't ask anything that sounds like a question immediately, because if one of us says something stupid, he's going to answer it.
I don't think Ari heard it.
Everyone did.
Everyone heard that? Okay, cool.
This image of him is right there.
We could figure out where to go next.
We could do that.
Could find out who's been talking to me in my head. I'll as it aside, and sorry to I know a bit about Udvarapak, but I don't know why or how he's able to access me. Is that correct? I want to make sure I haven't missed something important in our conversations.
No, you get the idea that there's some form of
He's got his hooks in me, but I don't quite know why, right?
Yeah, you've heard that there has been rumors about meeting the father and meeting the mother, stuff like that. You're not entirely too sure who, but you get the idea that he is related to you in some distant form.
So I could ask him, which I'm not asking right now. I'm simply thinking out loud. I could ask him to tell me everything I need to know about where I come from. Not sure if all of you know where you come from, but not knowing hurts.
But if he knows that information, we don't know that, and won't know unless we ask, which could very well waste a question. Your best bet is going and seeing your mother, in my opinion.
Oh, you make a good point. To be honest, I have led us astray enough today as it is. Questions aren't mine to ask.
I vote we figure out where to go next to find him.
If Parrish could remember everything.
But he can't.
You sure? Please say you're not sure.
The memories in my head are mixed and muddled, and there's so much missing. There's only flashes of what feels like a past life, 2 past lives, and it's hard to sort out exactly what. We came here together with a purpose. We found that purpose. A question on where to go next, phrased correctly, seems like the way forward for us. After that, 2 questions is more than enough to make our lives better, to make the world better.
Ari has nothing further to say.
It's not my question to ask, as Parrish looks to the rest of the party.
It's probably at this point, you guys will all see or hear probably, as Ortega hasn't moved into the room with anybody. He's been standing in the back of the room, and you hear the machete hit the floor. I'm free. He's going to fall to his knees and weep. He's going to lay down his scimitars next to, while he's still weeping, he's going to stand up, kick them to the side, and just be in his own world. He has paid no attention to anything that's gone on, mainly because I have a baby on my shoulder and I kind of had to leave there for a second. But he kind of mutters to himself about being free and being happy to be in control again.
I think Palace is fidgeting and is getting antsy, and she's going to have considered everything that everyone has said, and her first question is going to be, how do I activate the Jewel of 3 Prayers?
He looks at you and he looks at the Jewel of 3 Prayers and he says, that question has already been answered. And he waves his hand as you see the Jewel of 3 Prayers awaken, and 3 sapphire gems pop out almost in a blade-like area. I'll send you a picture later. You do notice that there is a stronger power to it as it shifts into more of a crest now. And you see he goes and he says, there is one more state, but it is not for me to open.
Make sure I heard correctly. There are 3 states or 3 gates?
State for the Jewel of 3 Prayers. There's 3 states.
3 states. They're not his to open. So
he was
again,
able to open.
meta.
Yeah. So there's the dormant state, the awakened state, and the exalted state. It was dormant, and now it is in its awakened state. He awakened it. He wasn't able to exalt it.
Just because I haven't seen Lily scream, I have a baby on my shoulder.
The baby.
Okay.
2 questions.
Parrish. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
2 questions remain. My time here is short.
Parrish will turn back and kneel down next to Ortega and just give him a sort of, the hug that you can do when you're both kneeling. Nothing super embraced, but
Ortega completely ignores him, as if now is not the time for this.
Parrish will pick up the 2 scimitars.
Okay.
Palace is going to ask, how do I get it to the next state?
You must find me and free me from my prison. In the vision, I was able to show you where I am in prison. Seek it. It is underwater. It is in ruins. It is known now in this time as the drowned city of KWD&DCONNECT, far off in the war-torn jungles of Marquette.
Parrish will rise and set his shoulders a little bit differently. Stand tall and proud and turn and walk up to where Talus is. And he says, where is my queen? The queen of spiders, the queen of the demon web pits. What has befallen my goddess?
He looks at you and his demeanor changes entirely, and he says, you who had part in slaying me dare ask where your queen resides. The Changebringer and her champion defeated her long ago, but I am bound to the question. She is still in the Underdark, waiting and biding her time for you to return to her again. No more questions. And he disappears. And just as the vision of Elixion fades, you become aware of the presence of others. Your friends, the other party, appear at the edge of the crater rider along with a red-robed figure. You see that they are torn, they are battered, they are bruised, they are not looking well whatsoever. You see Dermot is suffering exhaustion. You see Galcerad is tapped out. Irvin seems to be missing all of his weapons. And you see Ao in the back. And this red-robed figure you recognize as Alicia Telfin. And she goes, "Well done, heroes. Now, if you would simply hand over the jewels, we can all get out of here without spilling any more blood." And she sticks her hand out, and you see the jewels start to levitate off the altar as it comes closer and closer and closer to her.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm grabbing them. If I can grab them, I'm gonna grab them.
If it's not game over, I'm pulling out guns.
Yeah, I'm like, we're shooting, we're blasting, whatever.
That's my niece. Back off.
Okay, make your grapple check on the jewels.
My God. That's only a 13.
So, as these jewels are hovering towards her, you try to quick grab it, you miss. Ari, you pull out your gun, you take a shot.
Yes.
Go to attack, roll your attack.
A red hooded woman, no one else. And I'm just aiming, ideally, for her hands.
Okay.
Make it so she can't cast a spell. I'll expend a grit shot to deadeye it.
Okay.
So, sort of die. And we'll grit point to engage advantage on it. So that's an 18 and a 16 plus 7 to hit. So that's an 18. That's 25 to hit.
Okay. Roll your damage.
11 plus 2 for what I hope is a lucky 13 points of damage.
So you see her hand, shoots her hand. You see the bullet go straight through as she had her hand out and she was pulling the jewels. You see the concentration drops and the jewels fall kind of through the crater onto the ground. You guys all scrambling to get like it's on the ground, but it's like it's a crater, right? So it could fall through cracks. So
Yes.
I grabbed them.
I'm running.
Grab.
Okay, anyone who's going for it, make your this would be an acrobatics check.
To be honest, I don't think I can make a shot and then also make a grab for it. I feel like that's my action. So I'm
You probably wouldn't be.
I'm glad I made that shot.
So we have a nat 1.
Yep.
We have an 18. Is anybody else trying to go for it?
Ortega's still sitting on the ground,
Oh my God.
sulking.
Parrish is torn between, I would just say he's eyeing the scimitar.
So, as all of you in your chaotic state scramble for the jewels, Ari, you see the jewel drop. Ortega, you are weeping in the corner as Parrish is looking at the scimitars. You hear Alicia say, "Fine, bloodshed it is," as you hear a blade emanate from somewhere as a slash takes place on one of the other party as she teleports away immediately. You hear a body hit the ground, and that's where we're going to end it tonight. As the shroud of the mystery of the Jewel of Three Prayers lightens, a glimmer of progress emerges amidst the shadows of uncertainty. With newfound answers in hand, they stand ready to embark on their next journey, guided by the whispers of revelation to their next destination. But just who fell? Join us in our next session as our heroes set forth on this newfound path, their resolve unyielding as they confront the challenges that lie ahead. With the truth within their grasp, will they uncover the secrets that have eluded them for so long, or will the new mysteries emerge to test their mettle once more? Before we part ways, I want to extend my deepest gratitude to all our viewers for their unwavering support, and a special thank you to MAB Music for their captivating melodies that accompany our adventures. Until next time, I have been your host and Dungeon Master Kyle. May our heroes' quest for answers lead them ever closer to the heart of truth and enlightenment.